he falls asleep and he wakes up and he has these things that he needs, but he's rejecting them. And I think that plays so beautifully into like the nail, because the nail now makes its appearance, right? He's alone with the bear, which is interesting. I'm not quite sure what to make
Yes.
of that.
Yes.
But whatever element, I guess one thing I should say, that I, just to kind of explain myself, I try to look at these as if every character, every important element is, they're all talking about different parts of the same person. So this is like
Mm.
at least one perspective you can take, is it's like an inner psychological process, right?
Mm.
So whatever this old woman slash princess is meant to represent is gone, and
Yes.
he's alone with the bear. And I think of the bear as being kind of like the instincts. I mean, that's kind of
Yes.
obvious. He's the animal,
Yes.
right? But still,
Yes.
like, the instincts are there, and it's just him, and maybe his intuition, or his just his sense, his animal sense of things. And that thing tells him, hey, there's a nail on the wall. It's a stone cave, and there's an iron nail stuck in the wall, which feels really out of place.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
It's the
it's
man-made thing there. That's there. What the hell is that?
exactly man-made. That's, yeah, man-made iron. And it's stuck into stone. It's not stuck into the wall like a piece of wood. Which would make
Yes.
more sense.
Yeah.
Um, and he says, if you pull that rusty old nail out of the wall, I will be set free. Um, and if you take the nail and put it under a turnip in the meadow, your reward will be a beautiful wife. So a matching parts of yourself.
Mm.
Um, and he pulls the nail out so hard that the entire cave shakes. There's a clap of thunder, and the nail pops out. And then the bear immediately turns into a man with a beard and a crown. And so I guess that's kind of two parts there: the nail and the bear's transformation. Um, but I just see the nail as like trauma, like something, something happened, whatever it was that got this prince out of the palace and into the forest and into the cave.
Mm.
The thing that
Mm.
had him feel lost in the first place, it's something, you know lodged in him that is unnatural, and it's
Yeah.
causing this
Yeah.
split where this, whatever the old woman slash princess represents, is separated from him and is seen as undesirable, even though clearly, she is desirable, or he seems very interested in a beautiful wife. But if she is the beautiful wife and he's seeing her as undesirable,
Yeah.
that's caused by the nail. And the same thing with the
Yeah.
instincts, that the
That's right.
instincts are seen as a bear, if we take that perspective on it, or whatever the bear is
Mm.
seen as a bear. But when he takes the nail out, when he grabs a hold of it and pulls with all his might, and like really works it out of where it shouldn't be stuck, the bear turns into a man with a crown.
Yeah.
And the prince is a boy, but he's been wandering for a long time. He's been living in the cave for a long time. So to me, there's this sense of like it being both, the bear being both like the instincts, but then also when it transforms, like I feel like it transforms into the adult version of the prince, or into the prince as he actually is. Like he sees himself. I mean, I can relate in my own life of like, man, how old am I? I don't feel like I'm in my mid 40s. I feel like I'm maybe 30 years old if I'm lucky. Some days I feel like I'm 5 or 6. So this lost part of the prince, sort of, I just keep thinking of the bear as like a mirror image of the prince. You know. Um, so yeah, and then the cave shaking and the thunder clapping and the nail popping out of the wall, like just any kind of trauma that's lodged in your system is gonna, there's a lot of energy in it. There's the force of whatever the initial rush of the trauma is, and then there's a force of trying to keep it contained, and all of that is like there's
Mm.
this constant war in you of those two forces. So when you go in to
Yes.
resolve the trauma, they will kind of explode. You have to be able to have a container that can hold that sort
Yeah.
of expression of that energy that's been stuck or locked up behind the nail,
Yes.
um, splitting into a bear and a man, or whatever.
Yes.
Um, so yeah.